Mental health for migration, studying and working.
Hey.
Hi, I am doctor and psychotherapist Valentina Orosa. In this video, you will get information about learning the language, studying and finding employment in Finland. You will hear experiences about how to overcome the many challenges related to them. In a new country, one normally needs to learn a new language and find a job. Worries and challenges related to learning a language and finding employment are straining on mental health. Previously, one could take care of one's own affairs by oneself, but now even the simplest things may be hard to organize. However, remember that in many situations you have the right to an interpreter. It is also important to start learning and using the new language, even if it feels difficult in the beginning. It is necessary to be able to communicate in Finnish, in studies and in many professions. It also makes your daily life easier. In the beginning, it was very hard. I didn't dare to speak any words, but then I learned moi, mitä kuuluu, and it was like my first approach. The line I said to everyone, but then when I was supposed to continue, then I was kind of like, I don't know, and I just had to leave the situation. But it was just like, it just was necessary to dare to speak. And now, not being afraid of making mistakes, and it was just like people corrected me, and slowly I started to learn more. I have this point of view that a person, an immigrant, cannot learn Finnish language by just attending a course. They need to live among Finns. They need to work with Finns. They need to be at work or an internship. You can't just sit at home because the course has ended. When the course ends and they just stay at home, all is forgotten. I study slowly as I take care of a child at home due to illness. 2 weeks at home, 2 weeks at school, very, very slowly. But you need to be patient. Learning a language may take a long time and is sometimes challenging. This is normal. It's good to know that, for example, stress or worries strain the mind and make learning a language more difficult. Stress weakens the memory and ability to concentrate. It's quite hard to learn something new if you can't focus or remember. In case you have stress or worries in your life, don't demand too much from yourself. Give yourself time. If you feel strained, you can ease learning by taking good care of yourself. Think about the ways of decreasing stress that work well for yourself. There are good opportunities to get an education in Finland. You can develop yourself or study a new profession. Education is free of charge in Finland. Muhammad, who is of Afghan origin, tells us how it feels like to be able to study. I was 16 and a half years old when I came to Finland. I had not gone to school back home and I couldn't read. I couldn't even write my name properly. When we moved from Afghanistan, there was no space and home country didn't feel like anything. When we came to Finland, it felt like this feels like a place where I have space, a future and everything. I got very enthusiastic about learning the Finnish language, and through that I fell in love with the idea that I should study now. I decided that I will go to basic school for adults, and when I graduated from basic studies, I decided to attend upper secondary school. Now I am there and I love it, and I want to study and I want to continue forward. I love studying very much. Studying and the opportunities it provides can bring a lot of energy and motivation into life. Although studying is interesting, it can also overburden the mind. Ayrton, who has moved from Peru to Finland, tells what kind of challenges studying in upper secondary school brought him. In the upper secondary school, I felt like the language skills were not quite as enough what the school and school's subjects required. And then I felt that where Finns had to work once to get the task done, I had to work twice or 3 times as hard. Because of that, even if I understood things, I still had to ensure that I truly understand them. So that was maybe kind of somehow exhausting. Maybe then I could have gotten some different kind of help in understanding the language. But back then I didn't realize. I have just now realized that there would have been an opportunity for that during the upper secondary school. If learning or the language feel difficult, it's good to seek support. There are many specialists at school who can help in the studies. Simply talking about the difficulties often helps. Another person can provide tips and perspective to your situation. You can, for instance, ask your teacher or the school psychologist for help. Many who have come to Finland want to join the working life as soon as possible. In Finland, the labor services assist in employment issues and job search. You can, for instance, participate in training or courses. Sometimes finding a job can take a long time. In some professions, you are required to take some further training in order to qualify. Occasionally, unemployment may cause concern and put you off. It is, however, important to be active and persistent. Often, getting the dream job or a permanent place of work only becomes true after many years in Finland. Next, Kornejad, who came from Iran to Finland, will tell how he got his first job in Finland. Getting the first job was not easy. I went to my work almost every day. I talked with the manager that I wanted to come and work here. I'm very keen on working. Then suddenly, when one day I went there, the manager said that just today we have decided that we can take on 3 new drivers, so it's great that you came. This time I was called for an interview, and that place became my first place of work. Due to that, I have gotten a lot, really a lot here in Finland. In other words, you can ask for work directly from the place that interests you. Internships and temporary jobs help to gain work experience, which is valuable in the search for a job. At the same time, you will get to know new people through whom you may even find your next job. It's useful to consider what you are good at and what you would like to do in your new home country. Thousands of people have been in the same situation as you, and they have gotten ahead. Therefore, you are also able to learn the language, study a new profession, and find yourself suitable for work in Finland. See also our other videos on mind, well-being, and adjusting to Finland. Thank you, and see you again.